Hey, what's going on, everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. Things are not looking good today in the cryptocurrency markets. Unfortunately, we're experiencing another drop, and this one is specifically bad because it's actually coming up on our support levels, on our critical support levels, which we did not want to break below, and we actually ended up dropping below some of those support levels on some cryptocurrencies here today. So that could lead to much more downside. I'm going to get into that further in this video. I'm going to talk about the technicals here, what we want to look for over the next few days. But it looks like we could be in for a lot more downtrend, and this could last months to even weeks. Over the past 24 hours, a lot of cryptocurrencies dropped anywhere from 5 to 15%. The only exception is Ethereum Classic, which is going to be added to Coinbase, so it did react positively to that news, sending it up over 15% over the past 24 hours. But if the rest of the market is going to continue to trend lower, I wouldn't expect much to happen, right? It'll probably deal with all of this better than other cryptocurrencies, but it's going to be hard to avoid this for any cryptocurrency out there. And despite the fact that the trend is bearish right now and it's actually worsening, the news has been positive. We actually got news that Binance is going to add euro trading pairs, and that's going to open up doors for adding multiple fiat currencies to trade with on the platform. So obviously great for bringing in new money and also making other cryptocurrencies less dependent on Bitcoin. Another huge news is, of course, that Ethereum Classic is going to be added to Coinbase. They talked about that in a bit more details in a blog post, but basically, over the next few months, that's when it's going to come on to the platform. And those are obviously two huge news pieces, but unfortunately, over the past few weeks, no matter how bullish the news is, it doesn't really affect the crypto market positively because there's so much selling pressure, that we can't go against this herd, right? Right now, there's so much selling pressure that it's just nonstop downside, and we're gonna really have to reach rock bottom at this point before we can even think about moving higher again. So I talked about this a lot on my Twitter. Make sure to follow me on there. Link to that at the top of the description of this video. I've been very active, and I actually spotted this morning the weakness in the cryptocurrency markets, talked about those support levels, and I said that if we were to drop below those support levels, those critical support levels, we were going to see much more downside. Unfortunately, that did end up happening for both Ethereum and Litecoin and other cryptocurrencies out there. And I also said that this next upcoming cryptocurrency drop, right, that's caused by this drop below these critical support levels, is probably going to put us back to where we were before the December run-up. And that will mean that we will have probably erased all, if not most, of the gains that we had over the past few months, which is really sad. Now, the positive thing out of this is that it will lead to an opportunity down the line to really get in at some cheap prices, hopefully, right? And that's kind of what I'm thinking now is, of course, this is not what anybody wanted to see, but if we're really going to go much lower, we're going to reach some very cheap prices, and that's going to be the time where I'm going to be thinking about really getting in big time. So once again, that's just my personal opinion. I'm not here to give financial advice, never here to give financial advice. So trade at your own risk, but that's personally what I'm thinking about doing. That's just my personal opinion. So let's get started with this technical analysis, starting with Bitcoin. We can see that we're coming up on the $6,500 support level. We actually did end up getting a slight bounce here. However, we're tanking alongside this lower Bollinger Band. It happened back here, for example, and usually with this type of setup, we end up really losing a huge amount of value pretty quickly. It's good that we're still above $6,500. The question is, can we really last above it, right, with all the pressure that we have? And seeing that we just dropped below the 30 line on the RSI, it's not looking too good. I think that at this point, what's going to happen is a drop. What we need to look for basically is either a quick bounce, where we basically dodge breaking below this critical support level, or if we're going to confirm that we're going to be moving much lower, we want to see a closing candlestick below the low of this candlestick, which would be $6,450, or just another confirmation candlestick on top of that, where we get, basically two candlesticks that fully closed below the 6,500 level, and that would be basically a full confirmation that we're going to move lower. And then our next support after that will be all the way down to $5,000, and I even think that we're going to test our uptrend line down here near $4,500. if we do end up breaking below $6,500, which is almost a likelihood at this point. Now, going over to Ethereum, the bearish trend is much more clear, and the bearish momentum is also much more clear because we did end up fully breaking below our critical support level. Once again, we do have an opportunity to bounce here. We didn't get a closing candlestick yet, so we didn't get that confirmation, but by all means, we got a clean break below our critical support level, which is obviously very bearish. We will have support coming up at $450, so we can expect the drop to maybe slow down a bit here, but I think we're going to be going, over the next few weeks to months, at least back down to our low back here at around $370. So I'll just go ahead and put in a horizontal support level in that area. Even down to $360 actually is a possibility. And if we were to move back below that, we would basically just re-enter this range down here anywhere between $200 and that $361 mark, right? So basically, next stop would probably be $361 over the next few weeks to months. And if we're going to drop below that, I'd expect some range-bound price action between $200 and $300 for quite a bit of time. As far as turning bullish again, we'll want to get back above $500 and even get back above $600 or $700 to truly confirm that we can start moving higher again. That's not looking likely at this point. Let's go ahead, take a look at Litecoin, see what's going on. Litecoin also got a more of a confirmation that we're going to lose a lot of value here. We ended up dropping below our symmetrical triangle uptrend line and below that $100 mark. Those were our two major support levels that we did not want to break below. And now, we're turning very bearish on the indicators. We don't really have much support now, all the way up until $70. And I think that we're probably going to enter this range where we start trading between $35 and $70 for quite some time here. So this could happen very quickly if we continue to move lower over the next few days. And, that $100 mark is a huge round number. Those big round number support levels are the ones that we do not want to break below. And unfortunately, when it happens, it usually leads to quite a bit of downside. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at Nano. Nano dropped below 45,000 Satoshis. It's tanking lower now, going down to 40,000 Satoshis. I think that we're just going to continue to see it drop much lower and basically, just keep on shaving off any type of gains, going lower in this range here. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at EOS, see what's going on. EOS did get a pretty big drop here. It also got some drama with all the voting stuff. So huge red candlesticks, dropped below our uptrend line. I think that we're going to come back and test 13,000 Satoshis. That's what I had predicted, and it's looking pretty likely at this point. So once we reach that level, we'll want to see some kind of stabilization. Otherwise, we could drop down to basically this longer-term uptrend line right here, right? And I hope that we wouldn't drop below that, because then we would enter a much more bearish situation for EOS. But it looks like over the next few weeks, we're going to be testing this uptrend line, and any drop below that, that's going to push us down way lower, probably below 10,000 Satoshis. So got to be careful with that. Let's go ahead, take a look at our next crypto, which is going to be Ripple, and let's see what's going on with Ripple. So going over to the Bittrex chart, we can see that Ripple is now approaching that 50-cent support level. Very important level. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a bit here. As soon as you drop below 50 cents, we're going to be going back down to 30 cents, most likely. And that's basically, our last support area before we will have completely removed any gains pre-December run-up. Now, what's interesting here is we never actually got a retest of our breakout area, which normally, technically, we do have to do. And that's an interesting concept, because that might mean that we're going to reach 30 cents and start moving higher from there, right? And that would be a huge buying opportunity. But if we drop below 30 cents, we're probably going to re-enter this range over here near 20 cents, 25 cents, and then we could see, a very extended consolidation that could last, several months at least. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we'll be able to bounce sooner rather than later. And if we do end up getting down to 30 cents, bouncing off that. But I did want to make you aware of all of this so that you're prepared. Let's go ahead, take a look at our next cryptocurrency, which is going to be Stellar Lumens. And sorry, I always forget NEO, not going to forget it this time. So we're going to take a look at NEO. NEO is dropping below $43. That is a loss of its support level. At this point, we're probably going to start trading between $20 and $35, basically entering this range right here. So I expect some extended consolidation, lasting several weeks to a few months here in this range. unless we're able to get some kind of quick bounce back above $50. Let's go ahead, take a look at our next cryptocurrency, which is going to be Stellar Lumens, and let's take a look at what's going on. Stellar is now coming back down to 3,500 Satoshis. It's actually holding up a bit better than other cryptos, but I'm not expecting much here. I think that we will end up breaking below 3,400 Satoshis, and I'm going to go ahead and draw our uptrend line here. Right over here is our longer term uptrend line. We'll be coming on that pretty soon. If we're not able to stay above that and get a nice bounce, we're probably just going to come back down to 2,500 or even 2,000 Satoshis and experience some extended consolidation in that range. Let's go ahead, take a look at Vertcoin. I imagine Vertcoin is dropping pretty severely, one of the smaller cryptos out there that has been struggling. And as you can see, we're going right back down to $1. I think that there's a pretty high chance that we even drop below that $1 mark and start consolidating in that 70-cent range, 60-cent range. So basically anywhere between 50 cents and $1. And I think Vertcoin is kind of dead right now, to be honest. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next cryptocurrency, which is going to be, let's see, next up is Lisk. Let's take a look at what's going on. So Lisk is currently down towards $6.24. That is its last support level before removing basically all the gains pre-run up and putting us back in these consolidation levels. We have one which is at around $4 and $5, and then another round around $2. So we have two ranges here that are potential consolidation areas. Of course, we would want to stay in the higher range above $4, but if we break below $4, we'll probably enter the lower range, which is closer to $2. Let's go ahead and take a look at Cardano now, see what's going on. Cardano is, I'm going to go over to the Bittrex chart here where I have my previous lines drawn out. Cardano is holding up a bit better than other cryptos, kind of like Stellar Lumens. Once again, you can't expect much with the market being this weak, so it's slightly dropping below its support level here at 2,400 Satoshis. I think that over the next few days we'll probably reach 2,000 Satoshis, and any drop below that will probably push us down to 1,254 Satoshis. Hopefully we'll be able to get some consolidation in this upper range. However, we could really see a drop all the way down to where we're at the beginning here at around 500 Satoshis if we drop below that last support level at 1,254 Satoshis. Let's take a look at our last cryptocurrency of the daily crypto update, which is going to be IOTA. IOTA is coming up on its $1.13 support level. We're probably going to be testing that $1 mark quite a bit here, and if we drop below that, we're going to be re-entering that cent range where we could go all the way down to 35 cents, which is going to be our next big support level, and then probably going to see some up and down between 30 cents and 50 cents. So pretty bearish there for IOTA if we drop below $1, which seems quite likely at this point. Sad day for cryptos, not looking good. I'll keep you all updated. Thanks for watching. See you next time.